Here is some web news from ABC 24 News. Coming up on the next ABC 24 News.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Marcus Harun, and coming up next on ABC 24 News, the bodies of a man and woman were discovered Friday inside a Guilford home. A judge has sentenced a Plainfield man to spend the rest of his life in prison for killing a jogger in Woodstock. The gas prices are soaring higher and higher again. We'll tell you if there's any relief in sight. Colleen's checking on the forecast. How's it going, Colleen?
Thanks, Marcus. Was that the end of your snowfall for the season? I'll have that for you coming up on ABC 24 News. Brad?
On ABC 24 Sports, a bus crashes, killing many. Joey Porter signs with the Miami Dolphins, and Dwayne Wade goes out with an injury. We'll have all those stories and more on ABC 24 Sports. Back to you, Marcus.
Thanks, Brad. Those stories and more are all coming up next on ABC 24 News at 8 p.m. ABC 24 News at 8 p.m. starts now.
Now, with all your news in one place, this is ABC 24 News. Reporting tonight is Marcus Harun. And Brad McRoberts with your sports action. Colleen Joyce has your forecast. ABC 24 News at 8 p.m. starts now.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Marcus Harun, and thanks for joining us for ABC 24 News. We're coming to you from this brand new studio in Hamden, Connecticut. We'll be getting a few more additions next time, and it will be great. Now we're going to start your top stories. The bodies of a man and woman were discovered Friday inside a Guilford home. Investigators said that they received a call informing them of the bodies just after 10 a.m. When police and fire officials arrived at the home on Water Street, they said they found the bodies of a 54-year-old woman and a 58-year-old man. Police said that there were no signs of foul play at the scene, but they did discover high levels of carbon monoxide inside the house. A judge has just sentenced a Plainfield man to spend the rest of his life in prison. Yunus Harun joins us now with the full story on what happened.
Thanks, Marcus. A judge has sentenced a Plainfield man to spend the rest of his life in prison for killing a jogger in Woodstock. Scott DOJ, 37, was sentenced Friday in Danielson Superior Court. He had pleaded no contest in December to capital felony murder in the death of 44-year-old Judith Nyland. Police said he hid the woman's body on Carol Spinney's property near the Massachusetts state line. Spinney's, who plays Big Bird and Oscar the Grouch on the popular children's television show Sesame Street, was not home at the time, and police said he had nothing to do with the Nyland's death. DOJ was a caretaker for Spinney. State police found Nyland's body in a storage building on the property. They said her hands and ankles were tied and stuffed into a storage area. That's all for now. I'm Yunus Harun, ABC 24 News. Back to you, Marcus.
Thanks, Yunus. We're now going to continue with your top stories. Police armed with rifles and AK-47s stormed into a Newington high school Friday morning after they received a 911 call from the school. Officers had been on alert since a 16-year-old student was charged last month with plotting a Columbine-type massacre. 2 days after that arrest, another student was caught trying to bring a pellet gun to class. Friday's incident began when someone yelled out, "Oh my God," over the internal intercom system. Students and faculty were confined to their classrooms for less than an hour as police checked the building. The building was deemed safe and classes resumed as usual. We have a big story and Brad McRoberts is covering that. Can you tell us more details, Brad?
Questions are being raised about the new commander in charge of the Army's Walter Reed Army Medical Center, a day after the previous general in charge was fired. The shuffle at Walter Reed takes place 2 weeks after a series of articles in the Washington Post exposed troubling conditions at the Washington, D.C. facility. The paper described the medical bureaucracy that left hundreds of wounded Iraqi vets wading through mountains of paperwork as they tried to obtain medical care. The Post also reported on the poor condition of rooms used by some veterans receiving treatment at the hospital. On Thursday, the Pentagon responded by firing Major General George Waitman, the hospital's director. Army spokesman Paul Boyce said that there will now be an overhaul in the way Walter Reed deals with outpatients. As we find things that need to have corrected action taken, we will take those steps immediately, Boyce said. To begin the process, the Army named Lieutenant General Kevin C. Kiley to serve as the interim head of Walter Reed. Lieutenant General Kiley is a top Army medical officer. But several former Army officials who have worked at Walter Reed, which Lieutenant General Kiley ran in a previous stint that ended in 2004, say he has known about the problems at the hospital since 2003. And even last week, as the Pentagon promised swift action, Lieutenant General Kiley was publicly blasting the Washington Post for what he had called one-sided reporting. So the decision to have Lieutenant General Kiley lead Walter Reed in the interim has left some senior Pentagon officials fuming. One said, in private, they fired the wrong guy and promoted the wrong guy. In an interview Thursday night, Senator Hillary Clinton, Democrat in New York, who serves on the Senate Armed Services Committee, said that she looked into the problems that the Army is having at the medical facility. It's extremely troubling that senior officials at Walter Reed now, and in the past, appeared to have known about the poor treatment, the lack of support, and the substandard living conditions, Clinton said. And that bothers me greatly. Defense Secretary Robert Gates has already appointed an 8-member team to review procedures at Walter Reed. The committee will release its finding within 45 days. But that report will not be released before the Senate Armed Services Committee holds its own investigation, scheduled for next week. We want to know who, what, and when, and how this could have happened, Clinton said. According to top Pentagon officials following the story, it's not over yet. I'm Brad McRoberts, ABC 24 News.
Thanks, Brad. Mayor Melody Curry is asking School Superintendent Marianne Martinez to step down following the resignation of East Hartford High School Principal Kevin Miller last week. Miller resigned after being accused of having inappropriate dealings with a 15-year-old female student. What makes matters worse, says Mayor Curry, is that Miller had a past that the superintendent should have known about before he was hired. An investigation revealed Miller was the subject of similar allegations while working as a principal in New Haven and was investigated by the Department of Children and Families 5 times. Superintendent Marianne Martinez never asked to see Miller's personnel file, and Mayor Curry says that is unforgivable. Curry is calling for the superintendent's resignation, and she's asking the school department for records of its hiring practices. Meanwhile, the chairwoman of the school board is responding by filing a Freedom of Information request to the mayor's hiring practices. It is a move some members of the school board believe is ridiculous. Colleen Joyce will give you a small check on your forecast. Colleen?
Thanks, Marcus. As you can see behind me and on the ground, there is no amount of snowfall anywhere. If you look on the trees, it is all melted from the past snow that has fallen here in Connecticut and all of New England. Moving all the snow off the sea, we will now have sunny, warm temperatures for Monday, highs to low mid-50s. Tuesday, increasing clouds, highs in the upper 50s. Wednesday, showers, highs in the 50s. Thursday, rain, moving across the state, possibly up to New England. The higher amounts up to Maine, upper 40s. Friday, rain, snow possible. Wouldn't say a lot of snow, but just very little amounts of snow. Not much, just a little cover of the grass. Highs in the low 40s. But as you can see, like I said, there's no snow at all behind me, no matter all the way up into the back portion behind me. There's no snow at all on the ground. If you look, streets are clear. Sidewalks are also clear as well. But I don't think there'll be any more amounts of snowfall that will accumulate to a lot of snow moving across the state and to the upper parts of New England. But I'll have that coming up for you on ABC 24 News.
Thanks, Colleen. Brad McRoberts has an update on what's coming up next in sports. Brad?
On ABC 24 Sports, a bus crashes killing many. Joey Porter signs with the Miami Dolphins, and Dwayne Wade goes out with an injury. We'll have all those stories and more on ABC 24 Sports. Back to you, Marcus.
Thanks, Brad. Gas prices continue to rise, but there should be some relief in sight. And one day, will your car actually run on sugar? That's what President Bush is trying to work on, and he's going to see if he can save you some money on gas, and you'll have to buy some sugar. And you've heard of people breaking the laws, but the FBI? Hear what they did against the law coming up. Stay with us.
This was an ABC 24 News production. Copyright 2007, ABC 24 News. For more news, visit our website at abc24news.net and watch ABC 24 News Mondays at 8 p.m. on Channel 27.